Tonight on TV2 News, a list of demands made by several student organizations was presented to President Deichen this morning. We have the details on what was in that letter.
And drivers in Northeast Ohio, get ready to fill up on the gas. A price drop may be looming in the near future, and we'll give you all you need to know ahead.
Charges against a former Kent police captain have been dropped. How he avoided legal consequences straight ahead.
It might be clear right now, but a winter weather advisory is looming for Northeast Ohio. I'll tell you more during my full forecast.
This is TV2 News.
Good evening, Kent State and all of Portage County. We start with a demonstration that took place this morning at the President's office. I'm Erin Simonek.
And I'm Connor Steffen. Several different student organizations came together this morning to present a list of demands to university administration.
Our reporter Nadine Battah went to the library this morning as it all went down. Nadine?
Thanks, guys. The Students for a Democratic Society organization and several others went to the administration today with a list of demands in regards to the May 4th commencement and student wages. Take a look.
We're demanding that there are some pressing issues here on campus that need to be addressed.
College, however exciting, can be a stressful time for some students. According to the American Psychological Association, 61% of college students suffer from anxiety.
We think that May 4 should be returned to the students. They have effectively taken away the planning for this event from the students, but they haven't reached out to any activist organizations about the plan or about the vision for May 4.
Today is National Data Privacy Day, which is an opportunity to reflect on how you're keeping your information safe on the internet.
Well, we want to set up a dialogue with the university that students are interested and they expect to be, in the loop on the discussion and on the planning of these events.
We're this morning, so that's why I am here on behalf of the university as the Dean of Students to receive the letter.
The Ohio State football program needs a high-level running.
We'll make sure that the information gets to President Deichen.
Kent State has been busy all month promoting cybersecurity. I spoke to Bob Ekman, Chief Information Security Officer, on different practices for data protection.
In addition to the May 4, we have a series of other demands, like Airmark needs to be off campus.
Charges of money laundering and racketeering against a former Kent police captain have been dropped, but his wife will still serve jail time. Stowe residents James Cole and his wife Audrey Cole were indicted in September 2018 by a Lorain County grand jury. A total of $150,000 that was seized during the case is to be returned to the defendants. Cole resigned from the police department on his own, and the city conducted its own investigation and found that no reason should be believed that Cole committed any crimes within the city of Kent.
Kent State undergraduate student government announced today that they have reached their maximum funding for the 2019-2020 school year. The total dollar amount reached over $316,000. To apply for a position next academic school year, visit the link at the bottom of your screen.
The Akron and Summit County SWAT team members responded to a standoff situation earlier today outside of an apartment building. A municipal court employee was carrying out an eviction when the tenant threatened him with a gun. The employee called the police and SWAT team. Police blocked off the area after multiple shots were fired inside the house. The tenant refuses to leave the home, and police evacuated the surrounding areas. Stick with TV2 for updates on this developing story.
Students of the Echo Hills Elementary in Stowe Monroe Falls City School District are safe following a fire scare this morning. A fire alarm was activated this morning, causing a student evacuation. The Stowe Fire Dispatcher confirmed that there was no fire and all the students and faculty came back into the school safely. Officials are unsure what set off the fire alarm but are investigating.
All right, we'll get back to weather soon, but first, more local school employees are being investigated on sexual misconduct. With cases at St. Edward High School and Lake Catholic High School, a recent survey of media reports found that Ohio was 5th in the nation for school employees accused or convicted of inappropriate relationships with students. The Ohio Department of Education also tracked 39 teacher-student sex cases in 2017 and 51 in 2018. Psychologists say parents should have a conversation with their kids about what are acceptable relationships with adults.
And the last of 3 medical marijuana shops have been approved in Summit County today. State regulators gave the green light to a Cuyahoga Falls location. However, it is unsure if or when it will open. The state previously approved 2 medical marijuana shops in downtown Akron. A delay of the openings of the shops are attributed to scheduling, final inspections, construction, litigation, and local zoning issues.
Voting rights advocates and computer security experts gathered at the Ohio State House earlier today for a cybersecurity initiative. And some say they feel like they have the information they need to protect Ohio's upcoming primary. Franklin County Board of Elections Deputy Director David Payne says he's not worried so much about the election process itself, saying it would be difficult for anyone to change a vote. Ohio's primary election is on March 17th.
And that was Elizabeth Warren, a candidate in the New Hampshire primary, which is underway. Currently, with 1% reporting, Amy Klobuchar is in the lead, with Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, as we saw, tied in second. People are looking out to see if Sanders and Buttigieg can solidify control over their blocks, and if New Hampshire can keep Yang's campaign viable. The polls and official results should be in the news by 7 o'clock this evening. Now, I don't know about you, but if voting was here today in Ohio, I think it'd be a pretty unfortunate situation with the weather that we should be experiencing, right?
Yeah, I don't know about this weather. Our weather anchor, Grace Prorok, has a little bit more about these dreary days ahead. Grace?
Thanks. I hate to break it to you, but today's weather is actually the best that we're gonna see in a little bit. Behind me, I have the radar, and as you can see, we're mostly just experiencing a lot of clouds. And if I were you, I would enjoy it because we've actually got a winter weather advisory coming up. But we're gonna talk about that later. Right now, as we see, the weather's actually pretty mild. We've got mid-30s to low 30s all around the Northeast Ohio area, with a high of 38 in Canton and what looks like a low of 33 in Ashtabula. The weather's going to be pretty similar as we look ahead for tonight in Kent. We're going to see temperature of around 33 degrees with just some clouds. We've got a little bit of wind, and so it feels quite a bit colder at 24 degrees, but overall we've got pretty mild temperatures for this evening and even heading into tomorrow. We're going to see that weather get a little bit nasty as we look ahead to the afternoon, but we'll get back to that in my full forecast. That's all for right now, so stay tuned as we go into what this winter weather advisory means for Northeast Ohio.
All right, thank you, Grace. A $5,000 reward is being offered for information that leads to the arrest of a 44-year-old man wanted for a triple homicide in Youngstown. 5 people were shot and taken to Mercy Hospital. And Robert Shelton is wanted for a triple murder that happened outside of Brothers of Power Classic Cars in Youngstown. The shooting left 2 others injured. Shelton is about 5 foot 10 inches tall, weighing 175 pounds. Anyone with information can call the Northern Ohio Violent Fugitive Task Force.
And jurors are in the midst of deciding the fate of Akron resident Daniel Jones today. Monday, he admitted to the murder of Carrie Blondheim of Massillon. Jones says he choked the woman to death and then burned her body back in 2018. He said he did this while he was high on drugs. The altercation occurred because Jones says he thought that Blondheim stole his GPS. The 47-year-old is being charged with murder, felonious assault, tampering with evidence, and gross abuse of a corpse.
A second murder trial for an Akron woman took place yesterday in the Summit County Common Pleas Court. Defendant Hetty Moss's first trial in November of 2018 resulted in her being guilty of assault and 2 lesser charges, but the jury could not come to a verdict on the account of murder. Moss's attorney are claiming the 2 people she shot were in self-defense, but prosecutors are still trying to convict her on 2 accounts of murder.
And near Columbus in the Licking County portion of Ohio, a couple now faces charges of involuntary manslaughter, among others, following the discovery of their dead fetus who was placed in a shoebox. 21-year-old Kayleen Gillum and 25-year-old Braden Mole allegedly induced labor and didn't seek medical attention for the baby. This resulted in its death. Their bond was set at $150,000 each, and a no-contact order between the couple was established.
Still to come on TV2 News, video of a Perry school bus crash that happened in December was released earlier today. We have that video of the moment of impact.
After the break, two of the nation's top phone carriers merge in an astronomical deal. We have which brands of phone service is no more coming up.
Snow is on the horizon here in Portage County. Find out how and when to be prepared coming up in my full forecast.
Oh, good thing they came.
Can we get strawberries? Okay.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
Welcome back. Ohio's First Lady Fran DeWine is looking to give children across the state the gift of reading. She launched the Imagination Library program in Franklin County today. Over the last couple of months, she visited many places throughout Ohio talking about the program, which will give one free book to a child every month starting from when they are born until they turn 5 years old.
Alumnus of Ohio State's wrestling team are calling for an investigation into the university's ties with Jeffrey Epstein. 5 of the former wrestlers have accused Ohio State of failing to protect them from Dr. Richard Strauss, who they say abused them. These same wrestlers have asked the school's inspector general to investigate financer Jeffrey Epstein. They are calling for the school to take better action since a woman named Maria Farmer accused Epstein of rape.
Well, Ohio's General Attorney Dave Yost is arguing against the state's decision to no longer accept Bitcoin as a form of payment from businesses this upcoming tax season. Yost has openly stated that he will be voting no on this decision, saying that paying the state with regular United States currency rather than cryptocurrency system is exactly what people should be doing.
Officials released a video today showing the moment of an impact from a school bus crash in Perry, Ohio. The accident took place in December when the driver of a Mustang ran a red light and was hit by the bus, sending rolling on its side. The singular driver of the Mustang, his identity is still being withheld at this time. But BMV records show he hasn't had a valid license since 2000 and has 2 OVIs on his record as well.
So, as I mentioned before, we have a winter weather advisory coming up for northeastern Ohio as well as the northwest part of Pennsylvania. We're going to see that go into effect tomorrow afternoon around 4 p.m. and it'll last all the way until Thursday. During this time, we're going to see between 2 and 5 inches of accumulation as well as ice and that sort of wintry cold mix that we all know and love. Officials are advising to be careful on the roads as we could see some hazardous conditions. Behind me, you can see the Ohio radar for the next 2 days, and as you can see, we're going to see a significant amount of snowfall, especially in that northeast Ohio area. Tomorrow, we're going to see that snow start in Kent, and it's going to be a sort of a wintry, snowy mixture as we're going to see the warmer temperatures around 38 degrees. As we head into the rest of the week, we're going to see how this weather affects us. We're going to have that snow on Wednesday and Thursday, but by Friday, it's going to clear up just a little bit and we're going to see the snow. However, it's going to be quite cold. Be sure to check out Kent Wired for the latest on this winter storm. For TV2 News, I'm Grace Prorok.
Gas prices in Northeast Ohio could drop down to under $2. The average price for gas is 11 cents cheaper this week at $2.31 per gallon. If you travel to New Philadelphia, you can get the cheapest gas in the area at $2.13 per gallon, and Aurora has the most expensive gas in the area at $2.46 per gallon. The national average is $2.43.
Also, a brand of smoothie kits is being recalled because it could be contaminated with listeria. Blendtopia Products is recalling over 29,000 cases of 7-ounce superfood smoothie kits. They were also sold nationwide. Smoothie kits Glow, Detox, Energy, Immunity, and Strength are being recalled. They have Best Buy dates of July 2021, October 2021, and November 2021. Anyone with these are urged to throw them out or return them to the store.
A massive $26 billion telecom deal, years in the making, has been approved. A federal judge ruled Monday that T-Mobile and Sprint, the nation's third and fourth largest wireless carriers, will be allowed to merge, keeping the T-Mobile name. Sprint stock soared more than 70% after the ruling, and T-Mobile's shares spiked 12% in early trading Tuesday. The deal could be finalized in early April. A person who tested positive for coronavirus was accidentally released from the hospital. More on that after the break.
And President Trump released his proposed budget for the U.S. this week with a heavy amount of funding going towards NASA. What the president and the country hopes to achieve about this when we return.
Kent State's Spring Internship, Co-op, and Career Fair will be held on February 20th from 11 a.m. till 3 p.m. in the Student Recreation and Wellness Center. This event is open to all students, all majors, all Kent State campuses, and all alumni that are seeking internships, co-ops, full-time, part-time, and on-campus student employment opportunities. For more information about the drop-in session schedule or the Career Fair, please visit kent.edu/career or register in the Handshake app.
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at SaveTheFood.com.
Thank you. Did you see anyone's broccoli? You moved it? Thanks for helping us. No problem. Is this okay? You're welcome.
We'd do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org.
Thanks for staying with us. The coronavirus in China had its daily death toll reach over 100 for the first time today. Today, the World Health Organization has announced an official name for the virus, which is COVID-19. The official name prevents people from calling the virus something that is inaccurate or stereotyping. There are nearly 43,000 confirmed cases in China and 1,017 deaths.
The British businessman who is believed to have infected several people has revealed his identity. His name is Steve Walsh, and he is recovered from the virus. Walsh has traveled to a sales conference in Singapore. His company Servomex says it is working with public health authorities to, quote, ensure the welfare of our staff and communities and to wish anyone with the virus a quick and full recovery.
Health officials say they accidentally let a patient who tested positive for the coronavirus leave a California hospital after returning from China last week. The patient in question and 3 others were treated in a San Diego hospital until initial tests found they did not have the virus. All 4 were then released, but officials say they were not allowed back into the public. Instead, they returned to a 14-day federal quarantine. According to the CDC, further testing revealed that one of the patients actually tested positive for the virus and is being treated.
And in other news, President Trump's budget for next year includes a 12% increase to help support NASA's mission to the moon and Mars. A 4-year deadline is ticking, and NASA aims its research and is working to make the goal a reality. David Liu has the story.
The engineers at NASA Ames Research Center in Silicon Valley are deeply immersed in testing the materials for the Space Launch System, or SLS. This is a model of the SLS that gets subjected to winds that can reach close to 2,000 miles per hour in this 9 by 7 foot supersonic wind tunnel. The model is covered with pressure-sensitive paint. The test produces color-coded visualizations to show where the model is enduring low or high pressure. Fluctuations can lead to instability or damage to the payload. The data is transferred to a supercomputer for analysis at the Marshall Flight Center in Alabama.
The benefits of putting this data on the supercomputers, that they can log on and see the results once we've produced them and ask for changes, and we can have a turnaround of, next day it's ready for them to look at new changes.
The model is embedded with 300 tiny microphones costing $2,000 each. With the clock ticking to land on Mars, Congress is being asked to boost NASA's next budget by $3 billion to $25 billion. NASA Ames, of course, will get a substantial portion of the $25 billion being budgeted for the next year. But how much is it going to cost for us to get to the moon and then to Mars? The director of NASA Ames, Eugene Tu, projects the Artemis project could cost $35 billion.
Now that's to get us back to the moon and also eventually sustainably to the moon. It shouldn't require that much of an increase, but it's going to be a substantial investment, especially to meet the timelines that the administration has asked us to meet.
A key goal is to find ice on the moon that could provide water and even fuel to support deep space missions.
Some of the Cleveland Indians reported to Goodyear, Arizona for spring training today. I'll update you on that and more coming up next in sports.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today I'm just an aluminum can, but one day I could be a stadium.
When they test you, stand firm and move only when you hear the seatbelt click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
And welcome back to TV2 News. I'm Jack Berney with your sports report. The number 2 ranked Kent State women's golf team finished 6th in the Northrop Grumman Regional hosted by Ohio State in Palos Verdes, California. The Flashes shot 1 over par on the day and finished 16 over par on the tournament. Junior Corey Nielsen continued an impressive stretch of golf, finishing 5th in the tournament. 12th ranked Duke, 1st ranked Texas, and 5th ranked USC finished in the top 3 of the event. The Flashes will be back on the golf course February 25th when they travel to Texas for the Icon Invitational hosted by the University of Houston. And moving on to high school news, the Mogador Wildcats basketball team has a non-conference home game tonight as they welcome in the red-hot Waterloo Vikings. The Wildcats are currently third in the PTC with a 7-3 record in the conference. They're riding a 5-game winning streak coming into the matchup tonight. Meanwhile, Waterloo has been on an impressive streak, winning 11 straight, including a win against PTC leading Crestwood last week. Mogador will look to pick up an impressive home win tonight. And get excited, baseball fans. The Cleveland Indians pitchers and catchers reported at Goodyear Ballpark in Goodyear, Arizona today for spring training, while the full squad is set to start their preparations on Saturday, February 15th. The Indians pitching staff was third in ERA last year with a 3.76 mark and fifth in strikeouts with a total of 1,508. Catcher Roberto Perez took a huge step forward last season with 24 homers and a Gold Glove winning campaign. The Indians are looking to get back to the postseason in 2020 after missing the playoff for the first time in 4 years last season, but will not be easy as the Minnesota Twins figure to be contenders again this year. The Indians are coming off a 93-win season and figure to be in contention for the AL Central crown once again. They open their season at home March 26th against the Tigers. And Cleveland Cavaliers guard Colin Sexton has been named to the U.S. team for the 2020 NBA Rising Stars at All-Star Weekend in Chicago, replacing injured Tyler Herro, the NBA announced today. Sexton has started all 53 games for the Cavs this season, averaging 19.7 points, 3.2 rebounds, 2.6 assists, and 1 steal per game. He has the third highest scoring average among second-year NBA players, trailing only Trae Young and Luka Doncic. Since December 23rd, Sexton has the 7th highest scoring average in the Eastern Conference at 22.4 points per game. Sexton has been one of the bright spots on a tough season for the Cavaliers. This year's Rising Stars game will be played at Chicago's United Center at 9 p.m. Eastern on Friday and air live on ESPN. And that's all I have for sports. I'm Jack Berney. I'm going to swing it on over back to you guys.
Thanks, Jack. And an old viral challenge is sweeping the internet once again. The Broom Challenge. It consists of making a broom stand up on its own and posting the video online. It's pretty much self-explanatory. The Broom Challenge has been around since at least 2012. A viral tweet suggested by NASA that Monday was the only day that you could actually do the trick that it would work because of the Earth's gravitational pull. But the truth is it can be done anytime. All you have to do is position the broom and its bristles properly.
Still haven't tried that yet. Well, if you missed the Oscars but want to catch up, The Blurb is live tonight at 9 on TV2. We'll give you a quick rundown first. The ceremony has faced controversy in recent years for its lack of diversity. However, this year's ceremony contained quite a few record-breaking moments. Parasite was the first foreign film to take home Best Picture in the Oscars' 92-year history.
Right, and after the ceremonies, Parasite's director Bong Joon-ho is now tied with Walt Disney for the most individual Oscar wins in one night. To hear about the rest of the night, you can watch tonight on The Blurb at 9. Now, we're going to switch from the Oscars to weather. What do you have for us, Grace?
Well, we've got that winter weather advisory going in effect tomorrow, so we're going to see snow Wednesday and Thursday. Friday, that snow's going to calm down, but we're going to get pretty cold with a low of 6 degrees, so be sure to stay warm out there, Portage County.
I think it'll be a nice Valentine's Day weekend.
I mean, yeah. I hope so because, I mean, I'm done with the snow, so
Exactly.
I would appreciate it.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, that is our report for this Tuesday evening. Thank you for being with us.
And stick with TV2 and Kent Wired on social media for the latest headlines. I'm Connor Steffen.
And I'm Erin Simonek. Have a great night, Portage County.
It's a big responsibility.
Oh, it's huge. I know, it's huge.
And the salary.
Oh my god, yes.
Right?
I mean, like, I was about to move in with my parents, and right before, yeah, so this saved me.
I really believe in you, you know?
Thank you. It's nice to hear that from someone.
These are cool. Did you, what did you...
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
When I was 6,
my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.